Whether a renunciant or layperson, the practitioner will not need a mentor, will not need stewards, and will not need to take vows in a ceremony because of the power of accepting, keeping faith with, reciting, and internalizing the great vehicle sutras, and because of all-embracing goodness Bodhisattva's encouragement to engage in this practice. This is the core of the true way of the Buddhas in the 10 directions. By means and reason of this way, the practitioner will naturally attain the 5 attributes of an enlightened one: perfection in behavioral principles, perfection in concentration, perfection in wisdom, perfection in emancipation, and perfection in the perspective that pertains to emancipation. Buddha Tathagatas become so by following this way. The promise of their Buddhahood is obtained in the great vehicle sutras. Based on this, O wise one, suppose a Shravaka practitioner repudiates his or her attitude toward the threefold taking of refuge, or toward the 5 behavioral principles, or toward the 8 behavioral principles, or toward the behavioral principles of a monk or nun, of a novice monk or nun, of a novice nun in the final 2 years of training, or toward matters of dignified conduct. Numerous offenses against the behavioral principles and the rules of dignified conduct are generated by such a foolish, ignorant, unwholesome, and contrary mind. If such a person desires to eliminate and become free of faults and afflictions, and be restored as one who conforms to the rules of the renunciants, he or she must diligently follow and recite the comprehensive sutras, ponder the ultimate principle, the most profound truth of emptiness, and make discernment based on this emptiness become intrinsic to his or her mind. It should be known that this person then, lastingly and with no residue, brings all moral defilements to an end within a moment of thought. Such a person is recognized as one who conforms to the codes of the renunciants and fully manifests the ways of dignified conduct. He or she will become worthy of being honored and rendered service by all human and heavenly beings. Suppose a man who is a lay follower flouts the ways of dignified conduct and does unwholesome things. To do unwholesome things means to claim that there are errors and faults in the Buddha's teaching, to talk at length about bad things and offenses the fourfold assembly has committed, to steal, to behave licentiously, and to feel no shame. If he desires to amend himself and remove and destroy these impurities, he must diligently recite and internalize the comprehensive sutras and reflect on the ultimate principle. Suppose kings, ministers of state, spiritual leaders, people of privilege, wealthy persons, civic leaders, and others of this kind untiringly pursue their cravings, commit the 5 grievous acts, speak ill of the comprehensive sutras, and embrace the 10 harmful karmic actions. The consequence of these great wrongs is to fall into bitter conditions that exceed even those of a raging storm. They will most certainly fall into the Avicii hell. If they desire to rid themselves of and destroy the encumbrances resulting from these karmic causes, they must evince shame and amend themselves of impurities.